Good morning. Happy April Volunteer Appreciation Month. My name is Nina Hentz, and I'm your worship associate for this morning. Welcome to those of you who are here with us in person at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke. We extend a special welcome if you're joining us for the first time. And if you would join us for coffee and cake in the fellowship hall after the service, we'd like to get to know you a little bit better. We extend a special, We also say welcome to those of you who are joining us on YouTube. For those of you who are on YouTube, if you have something you would like to share during Lifelines, please put that in the chat in the next 15 minutes so we can pull that. Our minister is the Reverend Walter LaFleur, and he's sort of in this pulpit this morning. We're sort of tag teaming today, which is going to be kind of fun. This morning's service is on volunteerism and thanking all of you who make this church what it is in the community and in the world as a whole. Reminder, please silence your cell phone. You know, somebody's always goes off every week, so double check to make sure that it's off. Whomever you are, whomever you love, however you express your identity, whatever your situation in life, whatever your experience of the holy, as you come seeking love, your presence here is a gift. Whether you are filled with sadness, overflowing with joy, needing to be alone with yourself, or eager to engage with others, All who welcome all are welcome here. And I'd like to invite the LaFawn Marson family up.
Good morning. And your presence here is a gift indeed. And welcome to today's service. I'm Walker Hartman. I'm part of your Generosity Campaign Committee. And I've asked the LaFawn family to come up. And I asked them 2 or 3 weeks ago, I guess, to gather as a family and think about some of the things that they enjoy and appreciate about our church. And are motivators for the reason why they also seek to align their financial resources with these values and these things that they appreciate here at church. So with further ado, I will welcome them to you.
Thanks, Walter. Hi, I'm Emily. When we were thinking, one of the things I really appreciate about UUCR is having this kind of sacred time to slow down and just mindfully be present and think about things larger than myself and my day-to-day. So the speakers, Rev. Walter, all the guest speakers who come in, and of course the music is essential to that. So I also really appreciate Carrie and the choir and all the guest musicians.
I just like everybody here and just having some you guys to just come and like be with. I also really like Jesse, Bonnie, and sometimes we have a guest help us. And I just like how they look after us and have fun with them too.
I'm Nelson. One of my favorite things is that this is a safe space for us to be on our spiritual journey more than a destination. It's about a journey. We can embrace uncertainty, live the questions. And if we go on a detour or go on an off ramp or go on a dead end path in our spiritual journey, it's okay. We can come back. And there's no road to hell that I know of. But if I do get there, I'll be in good company because I'll see some of you. Right?
And since that was kind of the emotional plea for the pledge this week, I'm just going to give a short business update if Lynn can get that information up there. Yeah. And I'll get started on that. Towards our goal of $272,000 right now, we've received 39 pledges for a total of $105,000. So we're 39% of the way there. We expect about 110 pledges. So the pledges are tracking about with the money right now. Catherine reminds me that if we don't hear from some of you soon, we might have to start making phone calls. And we know there's several people out there who haven't pledged yet. And also just a quick thank you for several people who have increased their pledge after last week. We talked about some of the finances with the cell phone tower going away. We had a really great luncheon for people that stayed. And we're going to do that again next weekend. So if you haven't stayed with us and had lunch to talk about the church and pledging, we invite everybody to join us. We'll have about room for 20 or 25 people. Thank you.
Please join me in reading the covenant, which is not here. There we go. It's not on here. You got it? You guys read it. Oh, very nice. With respect and direct communication, as we work in community to explore spiritual growth and to be a force for good in the world.
Our opening song is Turn the World Around. And it is a Harry Belafonte song, and I'm sure most of you know it, so I'm going to ask that you join in on the chorus, which is, concentrate, woe, so is life, ah, so is life. You'll know when. It happens 3 times. And the kids are going to sort of act out the song. They have been working for a long time on this presentation.
Good morning. Our opening words this morning come from Clarissa Pincola Estes. She says, ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul, to assist some portion of this poor suffering world, will help immensely. Our chalice lighting words come from Martha Graham. There is vitality, a life force, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and will be lost.
Bless and not to I'd like to invite all young folks up front to join me. My name is Jessie. I'm the Director of Lifespan Faith Development here, which means that I do lots of different things. And you guys also do lots of different things. Some of you did that this morning. You volunteered to act out that song. And I have to say, you did a mighty fine job. So well done, everybody. Yeah, let's give them another round of applause. Now, I'm going to put the adults on the spot for a second. Will you look on the back of your orders of service? At the very bottom, there's a thank you. Who's that thank you for? The children. Raise your hand if you're one of the people that folds the order of service every Sunday. Did you guys know they did this? And without you, we would just have papers flying everywhere. What other things do you volunteer for? I see some folks who volunteer a lot. What do you do, Damien? Pack a snack. That is where the youth group goes to a different church, and there's a huge closet full of food. We always need more food for that closet. And a lot of folks around here, including you guys, have donated some of that food. And they pack snacks for folks to take home on the weekend when they don't have enough food at home. They can take that food home. And they pack, how many bags do you guys pack every time you go? 280. That sounds like a very exact number. So I'm going to go with that one. I would have said, about 300. What other things do you volunteer to do? Do you clean up after yourselves in the classroom? When I say everybody pick up 5 things, do you sometimes pick up something that maybe you didn't put on the floor? Yeah, you guys are great volunteers. If I say something needs to happen, you guys are always the first ones to say, we can do it. Oh man, we need to pick up that litter outside. We can do it. So today I have something for you to recognize all this hard work that you have done. I have bracelets that say, never forget the difference you have made. And I have them in this bowl, and you can pick your color. So come and grab your bracelet. And when you wear these bracelets, I want you to remember that even the tiniest little thing, picking up somebody else's trash, or, weeding the garden when we have the garden, folding all of these orders of service. You guys fold about 100 a Sunday. Did you know that? Yeah. It goes faster when we have help, doesn't it? Awesome. We're going to go upstairs and we're going to think of other ways that we can say thank you to volunteers. And we're going to do that right now. Are you ready? Let's do it. Hey, Kevin, will you come grab that giant bag of stuff? May the light of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Our reading this morning comes from Margaret J. Wheatley, and it's entitled, It's Our Turn. Throughout human existence, there have always been people willing to step forward to struggle valiantly in the hope that they might reverse the downward course of events. Some succeeded, some did not. As we face our own time, it's good to remember that we're only the most recent humans who have struggled to change things. Getting engaged in changing things is quite straightforward. If we have an idea or want to resolve an injustice or stop a tragedy, we step forward to serve. Instead of being overwhelmed and withdrawing, we act. No grand actions are required. We just need to begin speaking up about what we care about. We don't need to spend a lot of time planning or getting senior leaders involved. We don't have to wait for official support. We just need to get started. for whatever issue or person we care about. When we fail, which of course will happen often, we don't have to feel discouraged. Instead, we can look into our mistakes and failures for the valuable learnings they contain. And we can be open to opportunities and help that present themselves, even when they're different from what we thought we needed. We can follow the energy of yes, rather than accepting defeat or getting stuck in a plan. This is how the world always changes. Everyday people not waiting for someone else to fix things or come to their rescue, but simply stepping forward, working together, figuring out how to make things better. Now it's your turn.
The first thing you should know is I'm not going to give a sermon. Yay! I am going to lead off the list of incredible volunteers who keep this church running. I am up here to represent Family Promise, which is an organization across the country that helps to house and feed families who are currently temporarily unhoused. Our church pairs with Green Memorial and Metropolitan to provide dinners and meals for families about 4 or 5 times a year. We were recently honored with a plaque from Family Promise. I'm not sure where it is, somewhere it's in the lobby. And we have a commitment coming up in May. I've already got everybody on board that I need. So if you have helped with a meal for Family Promise, would you please stand up so we can acknowledge you with our thanks? Yes, thank you. Good. It's a fun thing to do. Right now, the families are housed independently in 3 different locations. We don't know if they will ever come back to a central location where we eat with them. There's some fire marshal things going on with that, so we're not sure how that's going to work out. And I'm going to call Terry Smith to follow me.
Hello, I'm here to talk about being a member of the Caring Committee. You hear from one of our members every week in the Lifelines portion of the service. We also do other things besides keep a finger on the emotional pulse of the community. We're a helping hand when it's needed by our friends or members. If you need to get to a doctor's appointment, but you can't drive. If your car is in the shop and you need to go get groceries, we can drive, we can pick up your order that you phone in. I like to think of the Caring Committee as the real heart and soul of a church. And it's why I remain, one of the reasons why I remain a member of this church, because it's community, it's family that you only have to see once a week if that's all you can stand each other. And it's very gratifying to help others. And if you'd like to help out sometime, you don't have to join the committee. If you could cook a meal for someone when it's needed, if you have some spare time and could drive someone, Sally Garber is our chair. Or you can see me, talk to any other member of the Caring Committee. It's great to be together in helping one another. And now I'm going to call on Sherry Bernath. And I'm sorry we can't all have rhyming names.
Well, I am representing the auction committee this morning, although I'm also on the caring committee. In 1986, this church started doing a service auction every year, once a year, as a fundraiser, very successfully. We asked for donations from our congregation, and they range from artwork to dinners to hikes to other kinds of events, social events. It's always been a very popular thing. And the auction is now taking place in the fall. The last 3 years, we've had to do a virtual because of the pandemic. Someday we may get back to the live auction, but we will be doing it again in October. And we'll be asking for donations, and then we'll be asking for folks to bid online. We have auction software that allows us to do that. I think the only other auction committee member who's here today is Lynn Yates, who's on our AV board this morning. Anyway, it's a really fun thing, and it's a really worthwhile thing because it does generate a lot of revenue for the church. So that is what we do. And I'm going to introduce Betsy Biesenbeck.
Hi there. I'm in charge of the AV team by virtue of the fact that when COVID hit, the rest of the team quit. I was the only one left. But I do have my degree in radio and television production, although it's 40 years old. It's come in handy. What we do is we come in every Sunday and get the microphones going, run the soundboard. We set up the projector, set up the streaming for YouTube, and operate the camera. And it's kind of a lot. You'll maybe see me some other Sundays running back and forth from the choir to the soundboard. I'm too old for that. So, if you want to join us, I come in also about once a week to set everything up. And it's like just an hour before service to come in. Anyway, so I'm head of the team. We have James Rosar over here, and he's a very reliable volunteer. He comes in and does the camera and does the board. And Sherry Nath back there has been good about learning new technology, and she likes to run the camera, does it very much. And of course, Lynn Yates back there, besides being on the auction committee, she's on the board, and she's also on the shared ministry committee. She also does this once a month. I'm just so happy she's here. I can't tell you. Have I said that already? I'm just so happy she's here. We also have some of the youth will help sometimes with the camera. And then Jerry Trammell and Carl Oring, my husband, do a lot of the troubleshooting and stuff. There's a lot of moving parts back there. And if things don't work right sometimes, it's often some piece of equipment has decided just to go out that particular day, usually at the last minute. And Dennis McKim is making us a new streaming system. We're very glad to have him. And I want to mention that Jesse and Carrie are not volunteers, they're employees, of course, but they began the streaming during COVID. And then when we all came back, they showed me how to do it. And they're still available for consultations, and they'll jump in and help when they need to. And they're just really very valuable to the team. So I think that's about all I had to say about it. It's just, like, again, one more person, please. Oh, and Chris Yates is next.
Good morning. I'm Chris Yates, and I'm on the Connections team. Other folks are Betsy, you just heard from, and Nancy, who raised your hand. I know Lydia's here, and Susie, who was out in the foyer earlier, and Melissa Curry. I saw Melissa, there she is. And also Judy Robertson, who's had knee replacement surgery recently, and Hildy Getz. I think that's all we have on the committee. Our main priority is to welcome folks to church, especially visitors and newcomers. And we have visitors, first-time visitors, every single Sunday, which is wonderful. We welcome folks in and try to give them information about the church, help them to feel welcome, help them get connected with the church if they are so inclined. So that's a real treat and a privilege. A lot of folks are looking for a more liberal type of religious experience. And so we're happy to provide that. So in addition to greeting, we sometimes have other events for newcomers, such as a newcomer meetup, a lunch, an intro to UU class for folks who are not familiar with Unitarian Universalism. We facilitate that. And we recently hosted an open house where folks could learn about the various ways to get involved and connected at UUCR. So those are some of the things that we do. As I said, it's a pleasure and a privilege to be able to do this, to welcome people to church. And we would love to have other folks join us. It's not necessary to be a member of our committee to be a greeter. I started greeting when I had only been here about a year. It's a great way to meet people. And all you have to do is be a friendly face and just volunteer however often you want, whether that's once a month or once a quarter or once a year. We'd love to have you help us greet. There would always be an experienced greeter with you in the foyer if you're interested in doing that. So that's the connections team. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we also help folks when they are ready, if and when they are ready to join the church, we facilitate that process. Okay, thank you. Next is Nancy Bratton.
Good morning. I'm actually here representing the grounds team, and because Mary Harshfield, our awesome leader, is not here, she is up with her daughter Karen, who is expecting any minute. So it's very exciting. But I just want to say Mary has been the committee leader for a couple of years, and she's been just done an awesome job. And I wish she was here. Maybe she's watching online. So Mary actually prepared these notes. So the church actually hires, we have a launch service, but the grounds committee is responsible for maintaining all the rest of the property. So specifically the memorial garden out front, the trees lining the parking lot, you see the dogwoods out here, the wildflower garden near the playground, the grasses and plants around the signs in front and on the corner, the plantings along the driveway, and the plot across the street. And have a shout out to Bill Hackworth, who has done so much to transform that space to a lovely, almost park-like environment. You just walk over there and it's like, wow. Yeah. So in recent years, we have done some work in the memorial garden. Specifically, we've planted a red bud tree and a serviceberry shrub and several native herbaceous plants. Along the driveway, which by the way was designed by Carol Hinglinger, who is who's a member of the church and a master gardener. But we've done all those plantings along the wall after the new fence was put in. And the plot near the parking lot, which is right over in the corner there, some of you have probably noticed, is currently being redesigned with native plants, starting with a newly planted green hawthorn tree. And we have to give a shout out to Mary again. It's really wonderful, just really pushing the native plantings. So I do want to give a shout out to all those folks who have come out for Grounds Day, which is weeding, planting, trimming, all those kinds of things. So I'm just going to list names if you want to raise your hand or whatever. But Jimbo Harshfield, which Jimbo's in the back, Jerry Trommel, Mary Redress, Maya Bowler, Leah Whitney, Linda Wallace, Walker Hartman, Steve and Debbie Cates, Barbara Bachner, Judy Nelson, Carol Hangular, Lorraine Fleck, Mormon Robertson, Chris Yates, Joanne Spetzler, Leslie Landry, Greta McFay, and Bill and Ann Hackworth. Thank you all very much. The grounds would not be what they are without your help, so thank you. And if you're interested in getting on the email list, because this is how Mary does it, she'll send out like spring, fall, summer, she'll send out, hey, it's time to do some work. We usually find a day and we all meet. If you'd like to be on that email list, let me know or email Mary. Okay, so the next one up is Gordon. Where are you?
Thank you, Nancy. So good morning and welcome. My name, as Nancy said, is Gordon Malczewski, and I am a member of the newly formed Pride Committee. This is a little less than a year old. So to start out with, I'd like to thank all of those individuals that filled out the Pride Committee interest form. It's really an example of volunteerism at its best because we had 11 people sign the interest forms for the Pride Committee. So we were absolutely thrilled. The Pride Committee will be reaching out to those of you who had expressed an interest. You'll be hearing from us shortly. So I want to talk to you about the mission of the Pride Committee. First of all, it's to engage in activities that strengthen our church's role as a spiritual home for people of all sexual orientations and gender identities. Another mission is to ensure that LGBTQ issues remain a core part of our justice and equality work. To renew and maintain UUCR's official status within the Unitarian Universalist Association as a welcoming congregation. That's really the heart and soul of our mission, to get that welcoming congregation status, which now has to be renewed annually. So our members, and we've got a great group, we share the responsibilities for the organization. So Cindy Lawler is one of the members, Erica Joyner, Tim